Welcome to No Player Connected, the only podcast where we go into your favorite video games and then don't play them. I'm your host, Professor Jam, and today I am joined by Lightning McQueen fanatic, competitive journaler, and plant dad, KadenCactus.
Hi. I love that description, thank you.
You're welcome. I'm glad you enjoyed it. And if you can't tell from the whispering and miscellaneous sci-fi noises in the background, we are aboard the USG Ishimura because we're in Dead Space. The remake, to be precise. Kaden, can you sum up this game for the folks at home that are not familiar?
I can do my best. So, Dead Space. It's a sci-fi, third-person action horror game set in the future in space. You play as an engineer aboard the Ishimura, like you said. You're there to do a simple repair, but oh no, something goes horribly wrong, and there are monsters. You have to save your girlfriend and your friends. It's a great time. It's very scary and very fun.
Nice. I like how succinct that was. Is she your girlfriend or your fiance in this?
I believe she's just your girlfriend.
Okay, because I've had people ask me, and I've been like, I don't know how serious things are between Nicole and Isaac.
I don't know the deep lore of their relationship, sorry.
It's only like a major focus of the game.
It's only like his entire emotional crux of his story. No big deal.
It only lasts like 2 games.
Oh no.
Oh, and to be even specificer about where we're at, I mean, you can probably tell from my game audio that there's something about babies. We're in the bioprosthetics lab, or bioprosthesis. We're where they grow people and then chop their limbs off and then attach them to living people.
I was just going to call it the baby room, yeah.
Yeah, colloquially, it's the baby room. We were originally going to be in the whisper bathroom, but you said you weren't getting a ton of whispers?
Yeah. When we talk about criticisms, I'm going to be talking about the bathroom, for sure.
Not enough whispers in this bathroom. I got hit with immediate whispers in this room, so I love the atmosphere, I love the vibes. I'm always creeped out by the idea of, they just kind of hand wave it away, but they're just straight up growing people on this ship. And
yeah.
they never talk about, like, are they, like, sentient? If we took these people out of their little jars, would they be people, or would they be, like, do they have functioning brains? Anyway, I love the baby room. The baby room rocks.
We love the baby room. I was surprised. I'd forgotten that there are just full-grown adults also in here. Not just babies.
It's clever marketing because it's one of the few acceptable ways you can turn babies into a antagonistic force in a video game and still have it be serious.
And I feel morally justified in shooting all the little aliens.
All right. Oh, the little aliens I look.
Yeah. Not the babies.
Yeah, also clever marketing right there. They're aliens. So I'm gonna dive right into the hardball stuff, Kate.
Oh boy. Okay.
Oh yeah. So I heard you say in one of your streams that the Dead Space remake was not necessary.
You're calling me out.
Yeah, what did you mean by that?
So I played the original Dead Space for the very first time in 2021.
Yeah, right after it came out.
Yep. Yeah, I was right on board there. And I was shocked by how much I thought it held up, like, so well. Obviously, the graphics are not up to snuff in terms of 2021 or 2023 for these first-person shooter, like, AAA endeavors. But they hide that really well. Like, all of the atmosphere is so good that you kind of forget, or at least I did, that it looks like a game from 2008. It draws you in so well. I just think it's like almost a perfect game already. So I was really surprised to hear then that they were remaking it. But the remake is very good, so I can't complain.
It wasn't like the original was like, if only the technology of the time could deliver on their vision. I feel like they delivered pretty well.
Yeah, I think they knocked it out. For sure, for sure. And you can see that in the remake, too, like how much stuff has been lovingly, carefully translated into the remake from the original. It's like most of it is there.
Yeah, I think that's a testament to the original, that most of it is just building on the original and not like completely revamping it. I think the most major change would be what the 0G controls were. Oh, okay, maybe I'm going to put a target on myself here, but I thought the 0G controls in the original kind of ass.
Yeah.
And I much prefer... It's way easier to be a 0G baller in this game.
Yeah, quite literally. I got the high score in 0G basketball.
Yeah, I don't remember what my score was, but I'm sure it was maybe double digits.
Ooh.
Yeah, I don't mean to toot my own horn or anything.
Damn.
Yeah, but other than that, like, God, they just built on a blueprint that was already there, and this and Dead Space 2, like, graphically, I think they hold up very well.
It's very good. I was very impressed.
Alright, so good that Kaden did not want the remake ever made.
Well, I went on their Twitter. I yelled at them, how dare you?
Yeah, how dare you?
You're stomping all over the legacy of Dead Space.
They'd probably be okay with stomping. It's very in line with Dead Space.
They'd like that, for sure.
I kind of touched on it already, but what do you think is the best improvement for the remake?
I was gonna say the exact same thing as the 0G gravity sections. 0G gravity? Interesting. Uh-oh. If I had to be slightly more specific, the part with the asteroids I thought was great.
Ooh, I dread the asteroid portion of the original every time.
It's awful. Where you have to sprint in between these little pieces of cover outside with no air, and you have this very small time window. And it's not really even like a zero gravity type of thing. You're just like running in between volleys of asteroids.
Yeah, I was even thinking of like that, and then the little turret mini game.
Oh, yeah, and it is like a mini game too. It's so silly.
Yeah, like this very immersive, like no menu. You're always walking around, and you know you have to point your gun at everything, and then they're like, yeah, sit down in this arcade machine and shoot asteroids for I don't know, 2 minutes.
Yeah, it feels like a long time, and it's not fun. It's super clunky, especially compared to like the gunplay of the original. I think is very solid, and then you get on that turret, and it's like slow. It lags. It doesn't feel good to shoot.
Yeah.
I'm very glad they got rid of that.
But couldn't I take the route of, but you see, Kaden, the clunky controls add to the tension. That is why we need to have the clunk.
And you know what's sad, too, is I sometimes do make that argument for, like, Isaac's movement in the original, but I draw the line at the turret, because I just hate it. I just don't like it.
See, I hear those arguments for, like, the old Resident Evil games, which I haven't even played. Fake fan, and I don't think I could play them with like the tank controls and the fixed camera angles, maybe. But like I've played some games with like painfully awkward controls, and at no point during my frustration am I like, oh, thank God I'm pissed and frustrated right now.
Like this is real. This is immersive frustration I'm feeling. Very good.
But you mentioned your argument for how it works for Isaac's movement in the original, and I think I agree with you. But I want to hear your opinion first before I attack.
Oh, okay, good. Give me a chance to set up my defense here. Very good. I don't know, with Isaac, he's not a soldier. Like that's the marketing thing. I was just looking at the Steam page for the OG game, and the description is like, "You are not a soldier, but you have to survive." Like he's just this little man in his big old really heavy metal suit stomping around and skulking around trying to survive. Like he doesn't really know what he's doing, and I think it works better than say like tank controls, where that is like so divorced from how you would even move to begin with. Like with Isaac, he's just yeah, you turn right to go left.
Yeah, that's my life.
You're living in cars, dude. Oh my god. But with Isaac, like, You're still moving like a human would move. He's just slow and clunky. He's wearing a lot of metal ribs on his big pajamas.
I want to say like 80% of the weight from his suit is like, it's got to be in the boots. The way he stomps around is so loud.
The stompers. They heavy. Okay, attack me now. I'm ready.
Oh no, I was actually going to agree with you wholeheartedly.
Come on.
Yeah, it's called a feint. You think I'm going to attack. Yeah, but yeah, I think, at least in the original, he's an awkward engineer who... I think that they are still very generous with the fact that he can pick up any piece of, like, engineering or military equipment and just know how to operate it.
Yeah.
But the controls are very claustrophobic. If something gets all up on you, it's on you.
You're not getting out of there, yeah.
Yeah, and you're not Gears of War... refrigerator man. Oh, my name's Call of Duty, and then you chainsaw him in half. Yeah, they jump on you, they stab the shit out of you. Yeah, I think 1 makes you feel a little bit more vulnerable than 2 and the remake.
Yes. He's so much faster in 2.
Yeah, must have been doing... what the fuck? I'm really showing my ass here with not knowing the term. Doing cardio and doing squats while he's in that asylum. He's getting jacked.
Squats.
Yeah, well, it was more cardio. I had, but it would sound weird if I was like, yeah, Isaac's been doing squats in the asylum. That's why he goes so fast.
Hell yeah. I think in the remake, he's definitely obviously faster than the OG, but I don't think he's as fast as he is in 2. I think they keep a little bit of the clunk, just a taste.
Yeah, I think you're right. 2, he's definitely zipping around more. They preserve the clunk. They must retain the clunk. It's an essential part of the game. Without the clunk, we lose the soul. All right. For actual attacking, do you think there were any downgrades, though?
I do. And none of them are massive. Like, it's not a big deal. It's kind of nitpicky at the end of the day, because I think overall the game is, like, fantastic. But if I had to say something, I didn't love all of the performances of the characters. Yeah.
Ooh, do tell.
I'm gonna, and I feel bad, but I'm gonna call out my boy Hammond.
Ooh, I am inclined to agree, but again, I'll let you have the floor first on that one.
I remember him very strongly in the original, like he had a really commanding presence. And he had more to do because a lot of the game he's telling you what to do, since in the original Isaac doesn't speak, like, for himself. Yeah. But I just remember, especially in the early parts of the game, when he would get in these fights with Kendra and they're bickering, he would, like, raise his voice, he's shouting, he's screaming, like, he's mad, and he lets that out. And then in this one, he's, like, very calm. He seems very subdued, which you could interpret as, like, he's a professional. Like, he's a head of security guy. He's not supposed to freak out and fly into a rage. But it just comes across, I think, a little dispassionate.
I was going to say detached from the situation. He does have, like, actual hallucinations in this one, which I think they tried to add, like, make it a little bit more interesting. I don't know if it quite landed.
Yeah.
Because they have him and Kendra both hallucinate. I think Kendra hallucinated in the original, but... Yes,
she did.
I think that you're right. He had a more commanding presence in the original, and I think they tried too hard to have him be concerned for... what's the guy that he's always seeing? And
Chen.
Chen. Oh, I think I saw Chen. And, like... I'm sorry, Chen and Chen lovers out there. I didn't give a shit about Chen.
Oh,
after he got impaled in the opening, I was like, all right. And they tried to make Hammond and Chen a thing, and maybe if like we had some basis for that, I would have cared more. But
you didn't buy it.
Yeah. Well, they make him seem to really care about Chen.
Yeah.
It's just I don't care, and I did kind of miss the old Hammond that would be like, here's what we're doing, we're gonna get the job done, I'm gonna bark orders at you.
Yeah, and I wish they would have kept that. Like, you can have it both ways.
Yeah.
You know, you can have him be angry and frustrated and snap at people and try to take charge of the situation, and then also, like, care about his crew. Like, they're not mutually exclusive.
Yeah, and Do you think they make it a little bit more obvious that Kendra's going to... spoiler alert for anybody listening to this episode. Stop now if you love Kendra. But do you think they make it a little too obvious in this one that she's a sus among us? That she's going to betray you?
I don't know. I was trying to think about this, but it's hard for me to think about it as if I were playing it without knowing the twist already.
That's fair.
I did notice some things with her where her and Isaac, I think, actually have a much friendlier relationship.
Yes.
In this one. So I think they were trying to kind of bury the lead there and be like, oh, they're friends. Like, they actually get along. Clearly they've been working together for some time. And he trusts her. Is she extra sus in this? You know what? I'm going to say she's not.
Okay. I can respect that.
She doesn't go so hard on the Hammond, like, fake paranoia as she does in the original, where, like, every 20 minutes she's like, where is Hammond? What is he doing? He's probably betraying us right now, you know?
Well, see, that's what I wanted to get into, is that's, like, non-existent in this, and that in the original, it's like, yeah, who's on my side, but... Yeah, if you interpret it like that. In the original, yeah, I think you put it really well. She goes pretty hard. And then, Hammond said to go left, but I think the right hallway is correct. Hammond's trying to kill us. And it's like, okay, well, I wonder who's out to betray me here. The guy who is earnestly trying to provide me directions, or the lady that keeps telling me I'm being betrayed?
Yeah. Yeah, there's an argument to be made there, though, like, that, as kind of silly as it is, maybe it is a little bit stronger characterization, as opposed to in this where, like, everyone's just kind of nice, like, the whole time.
Everyone's kind of muted, I feel.
Yeah, except for Isaac. We'll talk about him later, but he's incredible in this, I think.
I wanted to ask, and there's a reoccurring theme. I know the episode isn't out yet, but I forgot a bunch of stuff in... the Bioshock episode. Is Elizabeth Cross as big of a figure in the original?
No.
I feel like her and Temple are like mentioned a few times. You see that Mercer messed them up, but in this, like, she makes it to the end, basically.
Yeah, and I was shocked. That was like the twist that I didn't see, was that it was going to be her instead of, Nicole just being like an illusion. It was actually like a real person, and it was Dr. Cross the whole time. Like, that was very surprising to me. And it was cool, but then it also became a little silly when I thought back on it, because, like, her and Isaac work together when they're in, like, the agriculture section to fight the Leviathan.
Right.
And then she's like, okay, I'm gonna go figure my whatever I'm doing out. And Isaac's like, okay, see you later. And then she's, like, never mentioned again. And it's weird because Isaac is characterized in this as, like, such a caring person who doesn't want to lose anyone. Like, even if they betray him, he's still upset and doesn't want them to die. But then he just, like, forgets about Dr. Cross and never mentions her and just leaves the Ishimura without a second thought.
Yeah, like, was she in the... I forget the name of the ship, but the escape ship that they take to go down to the planet. Was she in there when Kendra just shoots the shit out of Kyne? And
yeah,
she was just fine with it. Like, oh, damn. I wonder what those gunshots are.
I guess if she is being shown to Isaac as Nicole, then she's not on that ship. Because right after Kendra shoots Kyne and Kendra leaves, then you get a video call from Nicole, and she's like, meet me in the control room.
It's really weird when you think about, like, who's really there, who's a hallucination. I guess you're right. Well, would that mean that it's actually her entering the hacker codes or whatever the shit to open up the door? You know, where you're supposed to protect Nicole?
Oh, yeah.
Like, is that her then? Because I know in the original there was this big debate about who is actually entering that stuff, or is Isaac hallucinating it, and then why would that make any sense? Because he can't hallucinate a door to open. I
mean, he could. He's really powerful with the marker influence, as we find out later on in the series.
Oh, God.
Oh, no.
I have some thoughts about the actual plot of Dead Space 2, but that'll have to be for another episode.
Yeah, it's interesting. And she's seeing you as Jacob Temple the whole time also. I think it's interesting.
Speaking of Temple, I don't know if you saw it, but I had a bug where he did not spawn in to his cutscene where Mercer kills him.
Oh no.
So I had Mercer talking to nobody, and then stasising nobody, and then shooting nobody, and blood just splattered onto the glass in front of, as Isaac goes, "No! Like, no one else has to die!"
No. And you're like, what do you mean no one else has died?
Yeah, what was it? Well, damn you, Mercer, you're spilling ketchup all over the window. But
he's really lost it now.
he's a freak. Science has gone too far. But did you run into any either funny glitches or debilitating ones as you played through this? Because I had my fair share, but I know my machine's getting a little old now.
Yeah, you like ran the gauntlet of terrible bugs. I don't think I had anything, definitely not anything game breaking. I just had one. I had a goofy little one. It was kind of cute. It didn't really affect anything.
A cute one.
It was cute. You know when you go up in the quarters and you see all the cultists who have like shot themselves with like the bags on their head and they're all over the floor.
Did they all spawn in at once or something?
No, they were just there like normal, and I'm like, okay, so a bird's gonna fly into the room and like turn them into necromorphs. I don't know what those things are called, but I call them birds.
You really confused me there for a second. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Imagine a bird, but it's a monster also.
Yeah.
One of those.
Yeah, like a pterodactyl mixed with a syringe.
Yeah, that's a great description. And I was like, okay, well, obviously one of those is going to fly in at some point and try to turn all these bodies into necromorphs, so I'm just going to stomp the bodies now, because why not? So I did that, and then later on, sure enough, here comes the bird, and instead of, like, attacking me after it realized it had nothing to do because it couldn't turn any of the destroyed bodies, it just kind of, like, sat next to them, kind of sad, and just, like, sniffing around. It just sat there. And I went right up to it, I'm like, hey, like, sorry, bud. And it just kind of made little gurgly noises and sat on the floor.
Aww.
It was cute.
That is super cute.
Yeah, so I stomped it in the end because
no!
I mean, they forced my hand. They had to quarantine. I had to.
Oh, okay, yeah. If you literally can't progress, I guess.
Yeah, but luckily I didn't have anything that caused me to create 1 million save files out of fear.
Okay, yeah. For those that are not familiar, I got to a part in the game shortly after you run into Mercer where there's a battery you have to pop into a door to get through and progress, and it just didn't spawn for me. So I had to replay about, and I'm not very fast at gaming, so I had to replay about, I'd say, 3 or 4 hours of Dead Space to get back to that.
It was that
point.
Much?
Yes, yeah. I think it's like chapter 5 or 6. So yeah, I had to go a fair. It was after you meet the hunter, like the regenerating guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's rough.
So word to the wise and to people who don't have like super up to date computers, just have a lot of backup saves, because if your computer's a bit older, sometimes it won't load in doors either, or the doors will just get stuck loading. So also very funny having Isaac stare into the void through an empty doorway, and it's just a plane of black.
No, you don't get it. It's truly immersive. It represents what he's seeing when he's under the influence of the marker. It's a genius detail.
Yeah. Real Dead Spacers will understand.
Uh-huh.
Well, shoot, this question doesn't work because we're not in the bathroom anymore, but I guess there's a reason why we're not in the bathroom anymore. Are the bathroom whispers as good as the original?
No.
All right, I'll block off a 50-minute chunk of the episode here. Just go nuts.
Yeah, we're about to go on a wild tangent. Into the bathroom. I went there last night because we were supposed to meet there in the bathroom.
Yeah, we're meeting in the bathroom. Normal. Normal
And I'm like,
podcast.
yeah, everyone loves the bathroom. Like, whenever you, like, Google Dead Space bathroom, which you would do for some reason, there's, like, these ancient forum posts where people are like, oh, does anyone else hear this whispering in the bathroom? Like, I'm really freaked out. Like,
No,
what's
it's
going
just
on?
you.
Must be a bug. It's in your room.
I like the idea of one person just playing it completely straight. Yeah, it's you. Nightmare. Nightmare. Your house is possessed. Your house is possessed. You're gonna die.
But it's so creepy. Like, it is very scary.
Okay, I was just gonna say, you said that when you first played through, did you sit there and did you say you wrote things down that you could hear the whispers saying? Very normal thing to do, by the way. I write down the whispers I hear in the bathroom.
I had to make sure. I had to show someone the whispers and ask if it was just me, if I was haunted. I had to write them all down. But it's cool. They're like talking about, I don't remember now, but it was like specifically about this one woman and like what she was up to, like on the ship. And it doesn't give you like the full story or anything, but it's just like this weird little bit of information you get about someone who I guess had spent some time in the bathroom. I don't know why.
So it's like you can follow like coherent themes or sentences at least in this?
There's full sentences, there's names, like recurring names.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. I'd have to go back and look at my notes.
Yeah, my bathroom whisper journal, but...
Yeah, it was interesting. I thought it was really cool. And it's, there's like no music in there, not a ton of other sound effects, like it's just a moment of like calm, but undercut by the creepy whispers. And it's just so different from everything you've been going through in the game up to that point, that it's just like a really neat little moment, or a neat hour if you choose to spend an hour in there, like I did. And I really like it. And in this game, it's just not there. And I'm sad.
Maybe it is a glitch. Maybe it's a glitch.
Yeah, it's a game-breaking bug. Yeah, can I change my answer for that other question?
The
whisper bug.
There's no whispers in the bathroom.
This is unplayable. I even checked 2 different bathrooms just to make sure, like...
Really?
Yeah, I went all out. I'm really dedicated to this bathroom whisper thing.
See, I'm getting a lot of babies laughing, and I'm getting a lot of whispers in this room, so...
Yeah, I hear some whispers. I can't tell what they're saying.
Same.
And I hear the babies.
I don't know if it adds to the mystery and, like, the atmosphere if it were, like, actual normal speaking now. Now that, like, I've heard you say that. Like, if these whispers have a story to tell. Because... if they're just talking about, like, don't eat that sandwich, I dumped it, I dropped it in the baby vat, like that'd be kind of goofy, but, you know, if it's like, I can never leave even after I'm dead, like, that's creepy, but...
Yeah.
Yeah, if it's normal people, but whisperified, then I don't know.
I don't know, the baby sandwich in the vat is also creepy to me.
Yeah, that can't be sanitary if you accidentally dropped your sandwich in the baby vat.
No way. Someone's gonna get, like, a sandwich DNA into their replacement limb.
Oh, dude. That DLC's gonna rule.
I can't wait.
Yeah, Sandwich Baby.
Oh, no.
Breaks out of its vat when the Ishimura pulls into Titan Station.
No.
The final boss is the Clogger from Dead Space 2.
Yeah, whisper bathrooms, I'm not over it. I demand a patch.
He's got demands. Man's got the demands. Speaking of your demands, you said you wanted to talk about Isaac, and I feel like normally I'm catching you off guard here, but I really don't know what you're about to go off about Isaac.
Oh, I love Isaac. I think he's such an interesting character. I could talk about him for like an hour.
I mean...
Well, I won't, but I could.
You could. The way you were talking before, though, because we were talking about, what was it, differences with the characters and stuff?
Yes.
Were there some things that were good? Were there some things that rubbed you the wrong way about Isaac specifically? Or any of the other characters, but I know we're talking about the main boy right now.
Yes. The man of the hour, Isaac Clarke. He's very different in this than in the original. Obviously, because he talks. He has a whole personality, and I think it's really great. I think it is definitely more consistent with than Dead Space 2, whereas when you play the original where he says nothing at all and barely reacts to anything, except for like screaming, obviously. And then you play the second one, and within like the first 10 minutes, he's like swearing, he's shouting, like he's experiencing the full range of human emotions, like vocally, and it can be like really jarring.
He's got little one-liners.
Yeah.
Isaac, where are you? Train got rescheduled.
Yeah.
If you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, where the fuck is this coming from?
Who is this guy? What'd they do to him in that year?
I thought it was 3 years.
Oh, is it 3? Oh,
I think it's very fucked up.
Yeah, I trust you on this one because you know more about the second game. I just think in the original, he feels very different because you are able to project yourself onto him a lot more easily, since he doesn't really have a personality unless you read his little journal entries, which I love a good journal, but I didn't read those.
Oh, thank God. I didn't either. I was really worried you were going to be like, and I lovingly read every morsel.
No. We got things to do. And it's not like it pauses for you to look at your notes, you know? Like, I'm busy. I'm stomping. I think in the original, I just felt differently about him. And he just seems like a totally different character, like, in my mind in the original versus in the remake, which maybe makes me sound insane. I don't know. I felt like super connected to him in the original, just because you're able to project yourself, like, onto him more easily, and because he doesn't have an outright personality, you kind of feel maybe a little more, like, protective of him. This sounds unhinged.
No,
this sounds insane.
No, this is interesting because I don't usually care one way or the other for the silent protagonist archetype or whatever you would call it. And so it's refreshing to hear how do you find yourself doing that with other silent protagonists where you can project onto them more easily?
Yes, but I think what makes Isaac stand out is that even though you do, it's like a 50-50 split of you projecting onto him, but also he still like is a person, and I think that comes down to like the intimacy of the over-the-shoulder camera paired with like all of his breathing and all of his like, he still like has a voice when he like is shouting and stomping and gasping for air. Like he still feels like he is his own person, but also you at the same time. How do I explain this?
It's like you're his guiding spirit or something. You're right over his shoulder. He's your little guy that you're supposed to take care of, and you got to get him out of this mess, even if he doesn't know you're there.
Yeah, that's a way better way of putting it than whatever I just said.
No, I liked when you talked about his breathing, and, you know, it's kind of like we're the same person, but not, you know?
Yeah, I did feel I felt protective of him when I played the original. Like, when he's suffocating in space, I'm like, oh no, like, my little guy, like, my little boy, like, I gotta get him some air.
My little Zumbini, my little
Zumbini.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then in the remake, I still think he's fantastic, and I really love what they did with his personality. I love that he is so caring about everyone, even though he's like a working man, and he says a swear and yells at his equipment and gets pissed.
How dare he?
Like, he still loves all his friends and his girlfriend, obviously. I think it's refreshing to see that, even to this day, like, in a shooter.
Yeah, I thought it was a nice little moment that even after everything that happened between him and Kendra, when she is moments away from... Alright, spoiler alert for any Kendra lovers out there. When she's about to get turned into a smudge on the ground by the hive mind, like, she reaches out to Isaac and he reaches back to her and he's like, you know, like, oh, I'll try to save you. Like,
yeah, I love
holy
that
shit,
moment.
she's awful, and he's still trying to help her out. Like, that's maybe it's more of like a reflex for him, but still, I think that's telling.
Yeah, and he's seen, like, literally everyone else die, usually, like, right in front of him, and so even if she did betray him, like, at least to still have someone he knows around and not have to see another person die. And maybe they could work it out. Who knows? I don't know. I like that moment a lot too.
Yeah, it rules. Somebody that I am really happy that they fleshed out more and gave more camera time. Can you guess who it is?
Mercer.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my god. I love... Okay, again, this is alluding to an episode that isn't out yet, but I love silly little evil guys that are
He's so evil.
He's so fucked up, and I love it. I think my favorite audio log in this game is when he's about to jam like a medical implement in some lady's head and kill her, and he's like, "Don't worry, it's been sterilized." And that like captures his character perfectly. Like, he's doing everything for like these fucked up medical reasons, but he's polite about it still. He follows his procedures.
Yeah, and he's having a little fun, I think, too. Like, he's having a good time being evil, doing his evil science.
I like his belief that, like, just one more body and we could probably get convergence. It's probably Isaac Clarke. We just need to add that little cherry on top. If only he knew about the baby room and its multiple bodies just sitting here.
I know, like, do these... Clearly they count because the babies get turned, but, I mean, come on. I guess baby's not enough. He's a big man like Isaac to get turned, then we can get convergence. We're so close. Just one more, you guys. Just one more.
Please, can we just hit 5 million subscribers, please?
Oh, no. Yeah, I was gonna say I think he's great. I love his little scene where he bursts into the room and stasises you and walks in circles around you, just like telling you about his evil schemes. I love that. I thought that was fantastic.
He's just like a classic villain. Yeah, exactly. I'm going to tell you my evil scheme now. Goodbye.
He literally freezes you in place so he can monologue like he's doing the syndrome thing.
He could have killed you right there, too. Like, what is he doing? He even demonstrates... I mean, I didn't get to see Temple die because I can only use my imagination. But, yeah, he clearly shows that he can do that to people.
Yeah. He was still working out the kinks earlier on.
I forgot my gun in my office.
It's like a nail gun. Like, what is that thing?
I want to say in the sequel you get a gun that just shoots the javelin gun. Is it?
Oh yes.
So, I don't know why a doctor would have such a tool though.
Medical javelins.
Long range surgery.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's just punching holes in people.
What did you think about his death scene? Spoilers for Mercer lovers.
Yeah, Mercer lovers, beware. Do not venture beyond this point. Unfortunately, I thought it was kind of like a throwaway. Like a tentacle wraps around him and he goes, "No!"
Yeah, he literally says something like, "It can't end like this," and I was like, "Yeah, he's right. Like, that's not the end of him.
He's literally me."
Like, he's gonna be back, and then he just never was.
Yeah, I did not think he was coming back after that.
I mean, he just gets a little hug from the tentacle. Like, not a big deal. He kind of just like slumps over. He's sleeping.
Well, the necromorphs do leave him alone, which I think is interesting lore-wise, where the marker seems to be cool with some people so long as they're furthering its aims.
Yeah.
But at other times it kills indiscriminately, like with Mercer.
Yeah, how much control does it have? I don't know.
And that's getting into Dead Space 2 territory.
I know, I was just going to bring it up, but I stopped myself.
Yeah, I'm eagerly awaiting the Dead Space 2 episode.
I might have to replay it. It's been like a year, and so much happens in that game.
Oh my god. I want to live on Titan Station, but...
To this day, still, like...
yeah. I mean, it's gone. So.
I don't know if you heard, but...
Ooh, I got bad news.
Ooh. In this economy, on Titan Station?
Yeah,
I don't think so.
I think rent would be very cheap there, given recent events.
Yeah.
I probably would not even have to pay rent. I don't think anyone's going to show up to evict me.
I don't think so. You'd probably be fine. You might have a bit of like a bug problem, to put it mildly.
Oh God. Ooh, I have a constructive question, but I want to hit you with one of the hidden haymakers.
Oh no!
Since you compared necromorphs to bugs, do you think necromorphs would taste like raw meat or like rotten meat?
Ooh.
Or do you think they would taste like bugs? I guess you've unlocked a third option there.
Some of them do have like that like carapace looking stuff. Like they have that hardened kind of shell looking thing. So maybe a little bug-like, but I don't know. My instinct is to go with rotten.
Yeah,
they're so slimy, and like a lot of them are greenish looking. Like, ooh,
they are dead people. Like
they are, but they're like freshly dead. Well, how fast do they rot?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
I'm gonna have to read one of the side novels to get this information.
Do not read. Whatever you do, do not read Dead Space Martyr.
No.
Worst mistake of my life.
What do you think?
Okay, so the origins of this question are shameful.
You tasted one. You tasted one, didn't you?
I licked a necromorph.
Oh.
No. And this is a little bit of Dead Space 2, but who cares? I'll let it fly anyway. You know the Tormentor, that like big necromorph that like stalks Isaac for the first half of the game and is in cutscenes and screams at him, and then you shoot the yellow bits. Yes. I kept looking at the yellow bits of him and thinking, what's that taste like?
No.
Because it's all gooey.
Yeah, it's like the pus sacs.
Well, I wouldn't say it's the same. So I was like, what if it was like peanut butter? What if it was like peanut butter?
Like a glowing radioactive peanut butter.
Yeah.
No, buddy, no.
Yeah, so
no.
This is how a cannibal tests the waters to see if you're with like-minded individuals.
Yeah, if they were already dead and turned into a monster, then could I have a little taste?
Yeah, do dead people turn into peanut butter eventually? I don't know. Well, see, that was kind of the thing. I had to remind myself. I'm like, they're dead people. They're dead people. Do not lick them.
Don't lick them. Do you think that's what Mercer was trying to find out secretly?
How many licks does it take to get to the necromorph center of a necromorph pop?
Ew. Oh, no. I mean, if you use the force gun, it's like really fast. You get right to the center.
Oh, no.
You do.
I know you do, but...
It's awesome. In this game with the layering, and you blast all their skin off, like, that's incredible.
Super cool.
Yeah.
See, now you sound like the cannibal, talking about peeling layers off of people.
Yeah, not to eat.
You were like, oh, the layers, yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking more in terms of like a Shrek type situation. that type of layer.
If you shot Shrek with the force gun, would he shrink a little bit?
You peel away his layers.
What is and not for eating, but what is your favorite little necromorph guy?
Oh, okay. You'll have to tell me the real name of it because I don't know any of their actual names.
I feel like I make up their names a lot, but
it's the snake one. The snake one. I mean, it has arms, but it has like the big snake tail. Little jumpy guy.
Yeah, I think they might be called leapers. I might be wrong. I'll do a Google thing, and then through the magic of editing, I can... It is leaper.
Nice.
It is, though. Yeah, scythe-tipped tails. That's how I know we're looking at the correct one.
Yes. I like them. They're fun.
You do? Like, do you mean design-wise or gameplay-wise?
I think both.
Oh, you're a freak.
Well,
I'm deleting this episode.
They can move really fast, but, like, I don't know, they're kind of cute. Did you think they're cute?
I don't. I think they're evil things that close the distance way too fast. I don't like that they run at you. Like,
yeah, they do scuttle at you.
When they do not the regular, like, crawl, but when they go and almost, like, stand up, like, fully on their two legs and then run like that.
Yeah.
I despise that.
Yeah, they're fast. I don't know. They're kind of cute.
I like that you keep coming back to, well, a salient point, but the toe beans. I think their design is cool.
Well, speaking of toe beans, when they're about to jump at you, they kind of like do a little wiggle, like a cat.
I never really thought about that.
That's how you can tell that they're about to jump, like when you're in 0G and there's one on a wall, like looking right at you.
Oh.
That's how you can tell it's about to wreck your day, because it does its little wiggle.
That's another thing, the 0G stuff. I always think, surely I have moved enough to avoid
No.
getting hit by the leaper.
No.
And
never
I can use this time to aim at him as he flies towards me. Oh!
Nope.
Yeah, and then it after hitting me sails off into the distance and scampers away into some spot that I can't see it.
Yep,
So,
disappears.
yeah, they're sneaky little guys. I can respect it though. They have a very cool design. They force you to change your gameplay style because their anatomy is so different, as is their movement.
Yeah, I
like
like that
that.
they're different. And that they're cute. Don't forget that part.
Yeah, they're adorable. I love them. I definitely don't cheer every time Isaac does the like quick time event thing where he like stomps on their head and throws them.
No!
It rules.
Okay, tell me your favorite.
The tables have turned. He's asking me questions now.
Yes.
I think my favorite from like a gameplay standpoint would probably be, God, as much as it gives me anxiety, I think the Hunter just changes the game so much that I have to respect it and enjoy it.
That's the one that regenerates, right?
Yes.
Yes.
And I've watched people who didn't understand that, like, just lose all of their ammo. Just firing on this thing that just refuses to stay down. Yeah.
No, it's brutal. It is scary.
It is, and it's just this hulking silhouette. Because the other necromorphs are kind of spindly sometimes, where you're like, oh, that's just a person that's been stretched out a little bit too much. But you see the Hunter like in the background because it's kind of slower, and you're like, there's the big man on campus. Like he's gonna take his sweet time, but then he's gonna kick your shit in.
Yeah, he's slow, but like he has such confidence that it's terrifying.
God, he's goals.
Yeah, I like that a lot. He's cool. And they gave him a backstory. How did you feel about the Hunter backstory in this game?
He's like Mercer's son, right?
Well, I don't think he's his actual son, but I did call him his son because like he's his little baby. But he's a patient of Nicole, and then Dr. Mercer kind of steals her patient for his little wacky experiments.
You're gonna have to tell me more, because due to the aforementioned haha, my game reset thing when the battery didn't spawn, I kind of started just head down plowing through the game, because unfortunately I think I'm going to need to play on a better computer before I replay this game. It was pretty rough.
Yeah.
So I didn't do as much lore exploration. So can you tell me a bit more about the backstory of our fun little regenerating guy?
Yeah, so his name is, it's either like Brent or Brant Harris. His last name is Harris. And he was a patient of Isaac's girlfriend, Dr. Nicole Brennan. I think because she was helping him like get out of unitology. I think that's like one of her main focuses, which they touch on more in the game, which is really cool. We haven't even talked about her, but she's incredible in this game. Like, she's very good. And so Harris was one of her patients, and then Dr. Mercer was looking for someone to do his little wacky science on, and I don't remember exactly how he came to this decision, but he decided that Harris would be a pretty good candidate. And so he kind of just like swiped him from Nicole, and she was mad about it, and that kind of spurs her to like start investigating what he is doing on the ship, which is like her whole side mission. And meanwhile, Mercer and Harris are hanging out, and he's like, Harris, you're my sweet son. I'm going to turn you into a monster, and it's going to be really cool. And Harris is like, yeah, Dad, that sounds cool. That'll be fine. I'm definitely of sound mind right now, for sure. It's interesting. It's sad. I like a lot. I could kind of take or leave that little backstory. It's interesting, like, to see Nicole's perspective. That's what I like about it. But I also really like then when you finally kill the Hunter with the ship engines. Yeah. That Isaac has a line where he says, like, it's over now, Harris. He can't hurt you anymore. which I
Aw.
thought was like really sweet. I
It
really
is.
like that. Yeah.
You mentioned Nicole having, a story.
Yeah.
When she does things.
Yeah.
Yeah, is that a good thing in this game? I don't know. I think they're making it too political.
Yeah. Well, we do also have. We didn't even talk about this when we talked about the bathroom, but the all-gender bathroom, and now we
my
have
God.
the
fall of
girlfriend.
Western civilization. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh Jesus Christ.
She's really good in this game.
Oh, she's so good.
Yeah. She has so much more to do. She has a whole. Well, I don't know how much you got to see of her side mission because of your.
Well, I got to see enough to and they put it in the main game too, I think, unless I bumbled into it on accident, where they talk about how she's basically trying to get Isaac's parents out of unitology, and it adds a whole new dynamic to their relationship where not only are they like a couple, but she's trying to help his parents out of this horrible manipulative organization, and she's doing that on the ship too.
Yeah.
And so holy shit, she's a character.
Yeah, and they said it couldn't be done. She's so good. And I also like that I think they aged up both of them, or at least her for sure. Maybe Isaac was always kind of older, but I feel like it's a lot more believable that she's like the head of like the medical officers, and she's like very confident, like she clearly has a lot of experience like in her field. Whereas in the first one, well, first of all, she barely does anything, but she seemed to me like very, very young and kind of unsure. Whereas in this, she's like taking charge, like stuff's going down, she's like, I'm getting to the bottom of this. Like,
yeah, she's got agency. Not to knock the masterpieces that are the Dead Space movies, but in the first one, have you watched the Dead Space movie?
Yeah, I have.
In that one, we get, come on, you're gonna be a brave girl, right? Do you got a guy back home or something like that? Like Vincent talks to her,
Yeah.
and she's just like pissing and shitting in the corner, like, oh, this is all so scary, like. Oh God! Like I'm so happy that she does stuff in this.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I did see people complaining, like, "What the hell? Why isn't Nicole like as smooth as a bowling ball anymore? Like, why does she look like a person who has experienced things? Why isn't she PlayStation 1 polygon graphics?"
Like, have you ever met any medical professional? Like, they're gonna have crow's feet at like 25. That's just how it is.
I thought you were just going to say, have you met an adult woman before? Like, have you seen a real life person?
That too. They definitely have not. For sure. Yeah. They've only seen 2008 Xbox graphic women with no character.
Beauty standards.
Yeah. They're so smooth.
Oh, God. So, oh, God. I hate that this leads in so well.
Uh-oh.
Let's say they make Dead Space a dating sim. Who should be the romance options, and who would you pick, Kaden?
Oh no!
And for anybody listening, feel free to chime in with your picks as well.
Oh no! Okay, well we definitely have to have the core main cast. Well, do you play as Isaac or do you play as like yourself, like in all dating sims?
Oh shit! I'm tempted to say Isaac, but then that would make things messy, so I guess you're a new member of the crew?
Wow,
like you're a different person on there? Because, yeah, I'd feel bad cheating on Nicole, so...
Yeah, I would feel sad about that. But you would presumably not feel bad about being a new person here to be a homewrecker and ruin Isaac and Nicole's relationship to date them.
They kind of like maybe were on a break after that high-tension... phone call they had.
His parents died and they had a huge fight, so this seems like a good time for us to swoop in and make sparks fly.
When you phrase it like that, it makes it sound wayward. Just answer the damn question.
Okay, hypothetically...
Who would you kiss? Who would you kiss on the Ishimura?
Okay, obviously I would kiss Isaac. I mean, he's great. We love Isaac. He's cool. Are we doing remake characters? Or are we doing OG characters?
We're doing remake because there's like actual people that you can see and interact with, and they have lines.
We didn't even talk about this, but like they did my boy Dr. Kine dirty. So like when the dating sim comes out, I'm gonna make a custom mod that puts in OG Dr. Kine with his creepy little scheming voice because I think that's great. I would
He
date that.
does. He does have a fun, creepy voice.
Yeah. We have to have Hammond. We have to have Kendra. I guess we can put in Chen for all the Chen lovers. They can take Chen and Johnston. She can be there. Sure, why not?
She got done dirtiest of all. I was really excited for her because, Chen dies right away. And I was like, oh, but she's on the ship.
Yeah.
Maybe she's safe. And then she fucking exploded.
Oh, she explodes.
Yeah, regrettable.
It's very sad. And the subtitle, it leaves no room for ambiguity. Because when she dies, it literally says death scream at the bottom. Oh. I was so sad. But we'll put her in the dating sim. And we'll do her justice.
We're kind of scraping the bottom of the barrel for candidates here. So
I know you want Dr. Mercer to be in there, of course.
Oh, absolutely. Someone was writing Isaac Mercer fan fiction in my chat when I first got to that scene.
Okay, I'm going to have to go look up the VOD, because... For science. Evil science. Dr. Kine will put in there. I guess if you date him, you also kind of have to date Amelia Ghost. She's around. Oh, wow. We're getting real nebulous with this. Here's the big question, which, might be a little uncomfortable, but are necromorphs dateable or not?
I knew you were going to say... I'm going to say no, because it's necrophilia.
Oh, literally, yeah, you're right.
Oh my god, I just realized you could be... The character in this dating sim could be one of the VAT people. Like, they accidentally release one of them. Oh. You can perfectly customize yourself. There you go.
This is actually genius. Wait, hold up.
Oh my god.
This is really smart.
Yeah, cut the episode. We need to copyright this.
EA is listening right now, and they see the money coming in.
What the hell? I hear a helicopter outside my house.
Oh no!
Dude just swings through my window.
I would play the hell out of a Dead Space dating sim.
So you'd pick Isaac though, right?
Yeah, I mean he's just the best. He's got the best character. He's got the most going on. He's got the best performance. Like, he's so solid. He's great.
I'd pick Kendra.
Yeah, no hesitation there.
Yeah, okay, so kind of the same reason why I like Mercer, but she has a few moments in this game where she seems like she's the smartest person in the room.
Yes.
Like, when Isaac's hallucinating about Nicole, she, plays along, but, you can tell she's, what the fuck's going on here?
Yeah.
And then in the beginning of the game, she gives Isaac, a shit-eating grin when Isaac's like, yeah, I got my girlfriends on that ship. And then she's like, oh, you're gonna make whoopee. And then, gives him a side-eye and this shit-eating grin. And I'm like, oh, Kendra, you little snake, you. I wish we could be friends instead of you getting squished.
Yeah, would you, in this dating sim, try to redeem her, or would you join her on her evil schemes? Oh man, is unitology even evil? Okay. Let me lay the groundwork here, because the religion that makes people kill themselves and reanimate into monsters might sound evil on the surface, but it's the one religion in this universe, presumably, that is, real. It's the one that's delivering on its promise. Yes, you will come back from the dead. The marker is a source of infinite energy. There you go. It's a cosmic force that has guided human evolution. And so when you have characters like Kendra, and then later on in Dead Space 2, the EarthGov is trying to figure out, what the fuck are these things? How do we use them? I think it's understandable to try to tap into unlimited energy and also a thing that can reanimate people. Kendra's still kind of mean, though, so maybe I can convince her to be nicer with her evil plan, maybe. Yeah, I think you could probably... You could probably come to a compromise. I could see that. She seems like a reasonable person most of the time. I don't know how much they're paying her at EarthGov. Is it confirmed she's working for EarthGov? I'm pretty sure she says it outright right after she shoots Kine. I think. She lays her cards on the table. I like that we're talking about
how moral is this character? And then we're framing it after, like, after she shoots Kine, who only wanted to help, after she's abandoning you on a ship full of space zombies. Last night I watched somebody play through the end of this game. She riddles Elizabeth with bullets.
She does.
Oh, well, she knows how to get the job done, so...
She does, and we would date her, and...
She's decisive. She would definitely go up to the McDonald's person and let them know that I ordered large fries, not medium.
Oh,
As I hide behind her, so...
Yeah, you would get those pickles on your sandwich, for sure.
We've talked a lot about, like, favorite characters and stuff, but what's your favorite, like, part of the game, like, itself? Like, either chapter or, like, just even a specific room.
Oh, I really loved... This is remake specific because they changed it, but I love when you go out to fix the auto turrets for the asteroids and you go fly around in space.
Really?
And then when you're done, like, there's a bunch of turrets, so you have to go, like, all the way to the end of this big, long, whatever you want to call it, an outside hallway. And you turn them all back on, and then it's like, okay, now, job's done, go back to the ship. And you turn around, and then you are confronted with, like, seeing the whole, like, spire and the bridge of the ship, like, from the outside, like, but close up. And, like, I don't know, that moment was very intense for me, where I was like, whoa.
Wow. Like, I don't even know if I registered that. I was playing through. It's cool that, like, different people see different things when they're playing this game. So
yeah, I don't know. It really hit me.
Nice.
It was cool, and just to see, like, it from the outside, but not like you see it from the beginning. In the beginning of the game where it's, like, far away, but, like, up close, and just how imposing it is, and the design of the ship is kind of, I don't know, kind of scary. Like, I don't know why they designed it like that, but it looks like kind of creepy.
It's like they knew there was going to be a bunch of monsters on this ship one day.
What if we made it look like a rib cage is floating in space? What could go wrong? I don't know. I'd love that moment. Okay, what's your favorite part?
Honestly, I think it's the baby room. Because... Well, see...
Where we are right now.
Yeah. I like areas in this game and in other games like BioShock where you're left to wonder, how did this work before things went to shit? I like to imagine people in lab coats walking around, having people growing in these tanks being a completely mundane, normal, everyday thing.
Yeah, and presumably you chop them up, like if you work here. You grow these people, and then someone comes in and says, I need an arm, and you just start hacking?
I wonder, how is this technology being used on Earth or in everyday stuff? Like, do we have clone soldiers? Were there ethics debates on, like, should we even do this? Can you raise, like, actual children grown out of these vats? And so it just lets my mind wander. On top of it being incredibly creepy...
Oh, yes.
It has so many implications for, like, world building that you can just think about it for so long. And, God, the atmosphere in this room just rules. So it's a fun little stop in here where you can just get a breather after you're done getting jumped by zombie babies and think about, whoa, even before the markers showed up here, we were kind of doing some weird stuff.
Yeah, it is very interesting. Yeah, I agree. There's a lot of stuff in this game that you can really dig into. Like, just on a surface level, you play through the game, like, you survive, like, you're shooting monsters. Like, it doesn't really read as super deep, I think, when you just play it front to back. But you're right that there's, like, a ton you can dig into and really think about the world, which is awesome. We
briefly touched on the religion thing with unitology, which... Even that, in and of itself, you have the aspect of it's kind of right. Like, they're kind of correct.
Yeah, you keep saying that, and I feel like I should be concerned. Like...
Well, I don't mean it from, like, a moral standpoint, like, yes, please get into your pod and die so that you can be reborn. But, like, it's the only religion that's grounded in, like, reality.
True.
Where the marker literally guided human evolution and this, that, and the other thing. But then there's also the, like, it's a thinly veiled Scientology analogy
Right. It's interesting, yeah. And the way it's used to, like, manipulate, especially the lower classes, is very interesting. Much like real religion and real life, or whatever.
Whoa.
Get on my high horse.
Yeah, we're getting political here.
Uh-oh.
And then to even get politicaler, you have the whole commentary on planet cracking. Like, you get that pamphlet that's like, some fucking nerds think that planet cracking isn't awesome. Well, they're wrong, and we have tons of money because of it, so get bent. It's like, oh, that rules. We're in coal country on the Ishimura.
I love that pamphlet. They're like, we've only had, 11,000 deaths. Like, it's not a big deal. Like,
Accidents
we locked it down
happen.
after that, we got it worked out. It's fine.
And the scale at which this stuff is happening, like, I think the first time Aegis 7 had, like, goofy marker stuff, wasn't it, like, 200 years ago? Like, it got buried there?
Yeah.
Humanity's been dicking around in the dead space for so long and doing all this shit, so... I don't know, I think it's a really cool setting, and I hope that the remake kind of rekindles interest in it, and maybe we get, like, some original content that isn't just remakes, although I won't hold my breath, I guess, but I'd like to explore it more.
I would too, but I would be nervous because even though there is so much potential for the world, every time they've, like, tried to expand it in a way other than, like, the games, it's been just disastrous. Like, the movies, oh no. The books, oh no. Like, it's rough.
Yeah.
Clearly they need to hire us. We get it. And we will make a movie and write a book. And then it'll be good. Yeah, the dating sim. I think we've actually just been blacklisted from ever working for Motive or EA.
Yeah. Regrettable.
Sorry.
Perhaps the most important question I'll ask you tonight. No oxygen or no lights?
Oh, this is an easy question.
Really?
Yeah, it's no lights.
Yes, okay, good. So it is an easy question and we agree. Perfect.
The game is already so dark in so many areas, and your gun has, or your tool or your gun has a flashlight anyway, so I feel like it's really not that big of a trade-off, and you're not on a time limit like you are when you turn off the oxygen.
Oxygen haters, get real.
Oxygen haters.
Turn off the episode now, an hour and 15 minutes in. Turn it off. We're done with you.
Yeah, out.
But I did see people that were like, well, with the lights on, I can just see everything and I can go through really fast.
Yeah, if you're some kind of gamer.
Yeah, holy shit. I'm
Not
just a
me.
little engineer guy.
Yeah. I'm not a soldier. No way. No, oxygen, it stresses me out.
It's like having the Sonic drowning music playing in the background.
Oh, yes. It is. As soon as Isaac starts gasping, I'm like, what do I do? And you just go into panic.
So is his air thinning during that? Because the way I would imagine it, you run out of air, and then Isaac would, and this is a really goofy mental image, but he'd, like, puff his cheeks and, like, take one big gasp and then hold his breath. So you should be able to be alive for, like, at least a few more seconds.
Right,
after
but
it
he's
runs
gasping like it's thinning.
Yeah, so that must be it.
Right. It must be. Well, we've just added a little piece of extra world building onto this tech. We figured out the oxygen.
Is holding your breath world building?
I guess so. We're so desperate for more content here.
Please, God. Turn Dead Space 3 into an MMO. Anything, please.
No!
God. Would you agree to future Dead Space episodes for this?
Oh, I would. I would agree.
Oh, the Dead Space episode's gonna go crazy.
Dead Space 3, I have so many things to say in a very sad and angry voice.
Now that the remake thing is underway, though, I'm delusional with hope. I'm drunk on hope and aspirations.
I also am hallucinating my loved ones gather around playing Dead Space 3 remake with me, and it's good.
The marker's influences.
It's happening.
All right. So, Very, very serious questions now. Why KadenCactus specifically?
Ooh, okay, the deep lore. I know you hate when people call their life lore.
No.
I'm calling you out. I've seen your Twitter.
Oh my god, I'll restrain myself. But your backstory, go on. Tell me about your backstory and history, Kaden.
Oh wow, thank you. Okay, so when I decided I wanted to stream on Twitch and I needed like a username, I wanted to have my actual name because I feel like that's just easier. Sorry, no shade, no hate.
Oh no, my real name is embedded in my name as well.
Yeah, it's close. It's very close. So I wanted that. I wanted alliteration because that's cool. And also I own a lot of cacti.
Do you have a favorite?
I do. His name is Johnny Cactus. He's incredible. I got him like 6 years ago from my grandma for like Christmas. And he's like 3 times his height that he used to be. And he grew like little... Is this appropriate? He grew like 2 little babies at the base of him.
Oh, okay.
So
I can picture it. There's no need to go further.
He looks so funny, and I just treasure him. He's very fun. He's the light of my life. He's my chat bot in my stream. Is named after him.
That rules.
He's special to me. I had this delusional idea in the beginning when I first was thinking about streaming that my niche would be like plant-related content. Like
I think I remember that a little bit.
Yeah, I was like, no one's doing this. No one's doing plant-related content, and the reason is because like it's not a good idea. It's bad. It's not good.
How is it not good?
Okay, first I started strong. I was like, I'm playing Plants vs. Zombies, like
perfect.
Obviously the plant-based game of all time. And it was great. I had a good time. Then after that, I'm like, okay, I guess now I'll play farming sims? Like, what else do I do? And then I played, like, Resident Evil. I'm like, because the plants are healing. Their healing items are plants. So, like, it counts.
Really stretching this concept.
Like, it got rough. Like, I wanted to play some games. I'm like, there's no way I can, like, finagle this into being a plant thing. So, I guess I just have to bite the bullet. But Dead Space does have pumpkins and tomatoes, so it counts, technically.
Yeah. I think any game that has plant life, I think that falls under your brand. So nice. Got a little bit of backstory there. I love the
my
history.
Origins.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Where did the love for Lightning McQueen come from? And for the folks at home that aren't familiar with KadenCactus, you have like a poster of him or like a picture of him in your room, don't you?
I do, and actually that was gifted to me by friend of the show, Stell.
Excellent.
It's on my wall. He's very beautiful. I have that. I have way too many Lightning McQueen figures sitting on the shelf. They're very cute. You have to collect all the skins. I mean, there's all the different like paint jobs. There's one where he has like mud on his face. Like, it's great. You gotta get them all. Like,
this is weirder to me than the Isaac. I'm like you, Isaac, and you're breathing. I love your breathing, Isaac.
Oh no!
Not actually. But I am still curious. Like, where did that come from?
So it's like half bit and half real, much like I am half Isaac and half me. Yeah. So like. As a child, this is more of my history here for you.
Not lore, different.
No, not lore. This is real life history, not fake, not fictional. I grew up watching so much NASCAR. Like, so much NASCAR. We're a NASCAR family, like, yeehaw, like, vroom vroom, boogity boogity, let's go
Bobby
racing
Labonte.
boys. Okay, he doesn't race anymore, but yes, he's a classic. Yeah. You gotta get up to speed with this.
Okay.
And so then when Cars, the first one in 2006, was coming out and there was trailers for it, my dad was like, yo, racing movie? Let's go. So we all went to the theater. I have 4 siblings. We all went to the theater with my dad to see Cars 1 from 2006. And I loved it. I adored it. My dad was actually disappointed because there wasn't enough racing.
Oh, because it's a children's movie?
It's really only, like, at the beginning, at the end, that they race. Oh. And the beginning, like, you know, he bumbles around in Radiator Springs, and if you're me, he falls in love with Mater, but, like, that's my headcanon or whatever. We don't have to get into that. I thought the movie was so good. Like, I felt human emotion watching it, even though it's about cars and it's stupid, but like it's also about a small town. Like, it's really sweet, and he has a redemption arc because he's a jerk and then he becomes nice, you know, which I love. And so we adored the movie, and so then of course we had to get the video game for PlayStation 2. And let me tell you, that video game is so good. Like, unironically, that game is amazing. It's like open world. You drive around, you can smash into people, and they'll be like, hey, that's rude. And it's very funny. And you can do the races. If you're my dad, you can do the races. Like, the game is awesome. And there's so many iconic lines from the game and from the movie that my siblings and I just started incorporating into like our everyday speech because we're all insane. And so to this day, when we are together, we will just quote like Cars lines to each other. Like, if they're even just barely applicable to the situation, like we'll be quoting some Cars. So then when I started streaming, that just kind of like bled out. Like, I couldn't help it. Like, I had to say the Cars lines. I just had to say them.
I had to get this out of me.
It's just a part of my, like, psyche, I guess, now. And then afterwards, I'd have to explain, like, you know, that's a reference to the masterpiece that is Cars 2006. Like, you know, we love Lightning McQueen. And so it was, like, a bit, but it was also, like, real. And from there, it just kind of snowballed and became, like, a part of my brand. Or I just, like, really leaned into the secret side of me that always really loved Lightning McQueen. So now here I am. He's on the wall. He's on the shelf. He's everywhere. He's in my heart. He's in fan fiction that I may or may not have read.
Well, thank you for bearing your heart there.
That was such lovely. A long backstory.
No, that's fine though. That's interesting. You know, put something out there for the KadenCactus fans.
Hey, if you ever start a side podcast about movies and we want to do the Cars trilogy, like, well, I have things to say.
I was thinking that some of these episodes can be like in a video game related to a movie, but then the focus is on the movie. So yeah. I would be open to that.
The Cars video game.
Yeah,
it's so good.
Boot up the Cars video game, and then I talk to you about... No, it's going to be you talking about Cars. I'll acknowledge reality. Yeah.
Okay, but the problem with this idea is that your whole shtick for this podcast is that we go into the game and we don't play, but the Cars video game is so good that you will not be able to stop yourself from playing. You just won't be able to.
I'll have Emma playing it while I record.
Yes! Dude, it's so good. God. There's a tractor tipping minigame. Like, what more can you ask for?
You are a fanatic. You are a fanatic.
I have so many hours in that game, dude.
Oh my god. So I have one last thing I want to ask you, and it's a bit of a non sequitur, but I guess it connects a little bit to the Lightning McQueen stuff, because I think that's part of like your brand and your community a little bit. You do a bunch of like fun stuff with your little gang, with your community, and I wanted to know like what has been your favorite thing to do on Twitch or with your online peeps, your friends.
Yeah. With my little gamers, my little pog champs, as they say.
No.
Oh no. So recently we've been playing Tomodachi Life for the Nintendo DS. If you don't know what that is, it's kind of like The Sims, but with Miis. And you have way less control. You kind of just observe, and you have like a couple mini games you play, but you kind of just like watch them have drama on this island. And it's so good. It rules. So we all get together, we play this game, we have like a split between like fictional characters we put in there, and then like our IRL selves we also put in there. So like for a while, Stell was dating Naked Snake from Metal Gear, and it was like a big drama because then she like dumped him for someone else, and he was like heartbroken and went like a trip to Europe to like do some soul searching. Like, the drama is off the charts. It rules. We love that game.
Does it say something about you that you like to take your friends and put them in a little game and watch them watch them get into little fights and tiffs and things. And
that absolutely says nothing about me. Very normal, very sane behavior.
Oh, that's great.
And Nintendo, I know you are listening. Please, Tomodachi Life 2 for the Switch with the Mii customization from Miitopia. I am begging for this.
I'm praying that Nintendo is not listening, because that probably means I'm about to get like copyright drone striked. Like,
no,
I'm going to die.
Okay, it's fine. I've sent them letters, so they don't have to listen to this.
I'm trying to avoid any video game companies noticing me right now.
That's why you say we don't play the game. Don't worry, we're not touching your IP at all. Don't worry.
Yeah. Is there any place that the folks at home can find you online, or anything you want to shout out before we wrap this up?
Sure, yeah, just on Twitch, twitch.tv/KadenCactus. We play Tomodachi Life. We're about to start playing Control, which I'm really excited about. I've never played that, but I loved Alan Wake, so hype for Control. Looking forward to it. Come hang out. It's fun.
Yeah. All right, the final question. Do you know what it is?
No, I'm scared.
Can you say NPC later? You can say it any. You can say it any way you want, but you have to say it.
Okay, I repressed this from my memory from listening to the other episodes.
This is the price you pay. This is the toll.
Okay, I'm ready. NPC ya later.
Oh man, that might have to be the official outro. I think I might just sample that and put that into every episode. But
you're gonna have to pay me royalties.
All right, cut that. End the episode. End it. I'm stopping recording now.